This is part 2 of the EXL winkers being installed on an EX manual transmission here in the States. And here's all the parts that you will see once you get everything apart. This is the driver's side mirror. It's already been taken off the vehicle. I have the LED module. I have the EXL skull with the cutout for the LED. I've removed the stock skull and separate it from the bottom piece here. Now, this bottom piece, you got to be careful. Actually, the skull is more delicate, but this bottom piece you don't want to mess up, because this, you would have to buy the whole assembly in order to get this piece. I wasn't able to find a separate part number just for this, so you got to be extremely careful. There's 2 clips, actually 3 clips, 1, 2, and 3. You can see that. And there's a little notch that is going to go here, if you can see it. And then there's this little clip here where it's going to be held in by this little corner piece in here. So this was going to be the last one that you do and the first one that you put back together. And as I focus in on it, I was able to snap it back in. There's a 3. There's another, that little block there is the other notch. And if you can see how it's connected in there, this is the last part again that you will have to install. Actually, I take that back. You are going to put this end in first when you're reinstalling it, and it will be the last piece, the last clip that you remove if you're separating the skull. And as I try to focus in a little bit better, this is the final result. Okay, now that EXL skull is ready to go on the vehicle, and just to give you a quick look, there's a lip here that you got to be extremely careful with. It's going to fight you a little bit, but this is how the EXL skull looks, and this is the EX skull. That's what you're basically dealing with. You see the little lip that's on the corner here. This is what holds the skull to the bottom piece. For the installation of the LED module itself onto the EX assembly here, I've already mounted it here. There's 1 and 2. I guess on the EXL there should have been 4, so there's 1 and then 1 right here, but there's nothing really to screw into here on the back, so 2 should be more than able to hold it. What you're going to need to do, and I'll try to focus in as I can, there was a little hook right here, and there's this little plastic piece. You're going to need to break that off, but be extremely careful not to break the seal around here, otherwise you're going to get water inside. So you have to just cut that piece off or snip it off, just so it can clear this, and then underneath there are some stabilizers underneath this. So they may not fit exactly, but there's little notches on the LED section itself where it's going to sit on top of. And when you put the skull over it, this is going to be the water seal. And that should do it for the mounting. Very simple. As I start to figure out the wiring here, this is the driver's side. The positive is on the bottom and the black is on the top. And when you hook this up to a battery, there's your LEDs. Here's the final assembly showing that it's working. I was able to fit the EXL skull very easily, and I know it's a little whitewashed from the light of the camera, but it is on. And I spliced the ground for the LED into the ground that I had already run for the heated side mirrors. So really it's just one wire that I have to snake through the door and the firewall to the front turn signal wire hot in order to activate the LEDs. And it shouldn't be too hard. It will be a little time consuming, but happy to show that it is a success.